Hi guys, welcome to the Wrestling Retrospective and to another episode of Main Event Memories, which is the rebrand of the Wrestling Revisit. This is kind of like something new to kind of call it instead of that. But in today's video, I'm doing my review of NXT Takeover 25. So starting off with Riddle defeating Roderick Strong in what was a really good match. The fluid motions throughout were especially good in the second half of the match. I like the dynamic that both of them were using strikes throughout, but then they were doing it with arms and legs, so they had to kind of use other ways to outdo each other. So Strong used a more traditional wrestling route, whereas Riddle was using his strength with impact moves as well as some high-flying stuff as well. The flurry from Strong towards the end of the match, ending in what I assumed was some kind of facebuster, was really great. The selling of Riddle's back was done really well, especially went for the bro mission but couldn't hold it on for very long because his back was in so much pain. But yeah, this was a great intense way to finish the match. It was very well done, and yeah, a really physical matchup and a solid way to start the show in my opinion. Following that, we had the Street Profits defeat the Undisputed Era's Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, the Forgotten Sons and Danny Burch and Uli Lorcan in a ladder match to win the NXT Tag Team Championships. And this was a really fun match. Multi-team tag team matches in ladder match. Multi-man tag ladder matches are always fun to watch. I like to finish how the worst case scenario team, which were the Forgotten Sons, looked as if they've got the match won when fan favourites the Street Profits came in. Dawkins did an absolutely lovely spear and Montez Ford did the typical springboard from the ropes onto the ladder, knocked Blake off to get the win. But yeah, speaking of Wesley Blake, he took an absolute beating in this match, especially like from himself. He did a tope suicida out of the ring, literally went headfirst into a ladder to take out the two members of the Undisputed Era. Speaking of them, Kyle O'Reilly, how he has a back afterwards, I think is nuts. He was a 100% match of the night. He was the MVP of this match. I thought that he took an absolute beating throughout. The state of his back after this match looked awful, and yeah, I'm surprised how he was just okay during this one. Danny Burch and Uli Lorcan did like a doomsday device with an uppercut where Cutler just landed straight on his head. It looked brutal. Luckily, I believe he was okay after this one, but I'm not 100%. But yeah, a bit too much time, if I was going to nitpick, was taken on taking out Jackson Riker. Now, this all would have made perfect sense if the Forgotten Sons had taken advantage of that and nearly got the win, but they were like just not involved at this point. I believe it was the Street Profits and the Undisputed Era that took out Jackson Riker in the end. But yeah, overall, I have nothing bad to say about this one. This match was very, very fun, very, very good. I think the right team won here, if not the Profits and probably Undisputed Era again. But yeah, I said everything was really great, but nothing bad to say about this one. Following that, we had the Velveteen Dream defeat Tyler Breeze to retain the NXT North American Championship, and this was really good. The chemistry between these two was absolutely spot on. The character work between them both was obviously absolutely perfect for these two. They are very similar characters, but also very different, and yeah, it worked very, very well here. But match-wise and in ring-wise, it was probably one of the best matches I've seen both of these guys put on. Like, I can't remember or at least nothing comes to mind when I think of great Tyler Breeze matches. And Velveteen Dream, I had the great match with Aleister Black at one of the War Games. But other than that, like, I can't really think, nothing really stands out. So yeah, this was a great singles match for them both. But yeah, the pacing was done really well. Like, I'd say like the chemistry of like their egos within characters both worked very well here, even though there wasn't a clear babyface or heel, because they both acted like heels throughout, which kind of makes sense. But yeah, overall it was a very good match and a lot better than I remember it being. Following that, we had Shayna Baszler defeat Io Shirai to retain the NXT Women's Championship, and this was absolutely fantastic. It's a shame that these two only had a handful of matches because they worked so well together. I believe they had this match and then a steel cage match on the NXT maybe a week or so after this. And yeah, that was about it for these two, which is a bit of a shame. I like the traditional and quick start of this one. It was more of like getting the mental advantage in the beginning, and it worked very well. Yeah, then we got into quite a different side or a different kind of match for Shayna Baszler, where she went for submissions very, very quickly, which she doesn't normally do in title defenses. Normally she'll try and do that later on and kind of build to it throughout the match. Io used her smarts with aerial moves, hence Genius of the Sky. to kind of take on the more grounded Baszler, and it worked very well. Alternatively, Baszler used her strength to get the advantage back over Io, lifting her out of like multiple positions and then getting her into submissions, which, you know, gave like just both dynamics were done very well and they worked absolutely superbly. The chemistry was all there. I said I wish we got more out of these two than just a handful of matches. The great technique by Shayna Baszler, using the unique way that Io rolled her up near the end of the match to then transition into the coquina clutch, which then would be the end of the match. And to be fair, respect to Io, who was in the coquina clutch for ages, or at least felt like ages. I don't think anyone had been in the hold for so long since the two matches that Baszler had with Ember Moon near the start of her title reign. But yeah, very interesting how Io, the babyface, attacked Shayna Baszler after the match. Usually it's like the heel will do that, but yeah, it kind of showed like a more intense side of Io, which then worked well into her turning heel after the steel cage match. But yeah, everything about this worked very, very well. It's very enjoyable. Definitely go check this one out if you haven't already. But yeah, definitely one of the bigger highlights of this night. And finally, in the main event, Adam Cole defeated Johnny Gargano to become the new NXT champion, and this was undoubtedly match of the night. It was so bloody great. But for me, it wasn't as good as the TakeOver New York match, but both matches were like at the highest quality of wrestling. It's just that I prefer the 2 out of 3 falls match, because honestly, it's a magical match. But yeah, these two, they had great chemistry together. Everything worked really well. Like, honestly, I don't think these two could put a bad match on together, and if they tried. Cole targeted the knee of Gargano very well and very uniquely. There was a moment where it looked like Cole was going to go for the Panama Sunrise, and instead he went for a missile dropkick onto the knee. But yeah, I liked how they clearly remembered stuff from the 2 out of 3 falls match. That he had regular moves that they usually go for. For example, Johnny Gargano went for the spear through the ropes. He hesitated. Cole went for the super kick. They kind of went through a little transition, and then Johnny Gargano hit the spear. It was done very, very well. They also avoided each other's super kicks very uniquely, and obviously a way that, you know, of course, if you've wrestled someone for nearly 45 minutes a few months before, you're obviously going to know kind of what they're going to go for. There was a moment where Cole went for a super kick to the head. Johnny Gargano covered up his knee, because that's what he usually goes for, and he kicked him in the face anyway. It was all very well done. But everything about Adam Cole here was very methodically done. He was very smart. The ring presence was done very well. He was rolling out of the ring at just the precise moment. He was doing certain moves at just the absolute perfect time to take advantage and get the advantage back from Gargano. This for me was undoubtedly where Cole was in his prime when he was NXT champion, and I absolutely loved watching him, and especially watching these matches back makes me kind of miss the fact that Adam Cole might be gone for a while now. But yeah, Johnny Gargano does the kind of heart and will and resiliency and determination, like, it's probably second to none when he was down in NXT. Like, he was undoubtedly the heart of NXT at this point, and he kind of incorporated into his character and incorporated into matches so well. But two great details about this match was the fact that Cole kind of won the match without the Undisputed Era, which was very unlike Cole at this point, but it showed that, like, just how great he is just as an individual. And then, yeah, him calling for the Undisputed Era near the end of the match, there was a moment where the referee took a bump. Cole literally signalled to the back, he was actually doing that for the Undisputed Era to come out. Johnny Gargano was getting ready for them to come out. He grabbed a chair and was going to go for them, but turns out they weren't coming out. It's just that Cole needed a few more moments to kind of recover from the influx of offense from Gargano. It was done very well. But yeah, for me, this was absolutely great. No complaints here from me at all. Everything was done brilliantly from, you know, just in-ring standpoint, character standpoint. After the match was done really well. Just everything about it was just absolutely fantastic. I say, just the only thing is that the NXT Takeover New York match was just so much better, which kind of showed just how great these two are. But yeah, absolutely no complaints from me, and this set off what was, again, what I would say is Adam Cole's prime of him being NXT champion. He was champion for a while and put on just absolutely classic matches. So those are my thoughts and opinions on NXT TakeOver 25. Put down comments below your thoughts on the show, what you thought was great about the show, what you thought the match of the night was, and also any other suggestions of pay-per-views that you would like me to cover. I've got a fair few coming up over the next few, I want to say next few days, but it's probably like the next week or so, where we've got this one here. There's going to be a review of WWE Unforgiven 2006. You've got WWE SummerSlam 2021 and AEW All Out 2022, as well as all other lists as well, and then coverage of All Out 2025 and WrestlePalooza, and then No Mercy the week after. So yeah, do stick around and subscribe for all of that. Do suggest some pay-per-views for me to watch as well. I will try and cover them on this series. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.